everybody, Rusty Blackwood here, and I welcome you to my loft for my Christmas video this December 19th. So, I'm just, because I've got to stay in the frame here, I'm just modeling my Christmas dress for y'all. I hope you do like it. It's off the shoulder. It's beautiful satin, and I welcome you here to my loft for this beautiful season, for this beautiful time of the year. And oh my, I'm so excited. I am so looking forward to this Christmas, even with the way things are in the world right now. I refuse to bend to it. I refuse to be depressed. I refuse to be unjoyful, because to me this is the celebration, which it is. It's not just to me, it is in general. This is the celebration of the birth of our Savior Jesus Christ. And as far as the rest of it goes, the presents, the money spent, and all of that pales in comparison to what we are celebrating on this December 25th. And so when I think about it in that respect, I am joyful. I'm happy. I look forward to it. I look forward to spending time with my family, with my little ones, to watch them, because they will be just so excited. And in watching that to me is the biggest gift of all, as far as gifts go, to be able to watch my own children, my grandchildren, and now my little great-grandsons, and watching their excitement, marveling at the joyful expressions on their faces. And that to me, that it is just wonderful. And so here we are, another year almost done. Like a week from today is Boxing Day, and of course everybody will be plummeting the stores or plundering, I should say, the stores. And I'm so grateful that I don't have to work in retail anymore. I once worked, I guess you would consider it retail, although it would be the food industry, because I worked in, I was a waitress, and then I became a supervisor. And that was quite a time in my life. And in some ways, when I look back at it, I miss it, but in other ways, I don't. And so I hope that because of my Christmas set here today, it's another overcast day outside, and so of course light is limited coming in the windows, and so I hope that y'all can see me fine, that I'm lit well. I'm hoping so, because I don't want to stop the video and check it and then find that it is not satisfactory, where I've got to redo it all again. So I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed, and I'm going to take a chance that my lighting and the direction of my mirrors are picking up the light the best that they can. And so, oh my, oh, there's so many things think about, to talk about. Um, but of course, that's all information for other videos. And uh, so I think today I'm going to concentrate on a little bit of Willow's Walk here. This Willow's Walk was my very first 5-star awarded novel, and the 5 stars was given to me by Reader's Favorite Books, and they gave this 5-star rating to this book while it was still in pre-publication. So I'm very, very proud of that. Not just the fact that it brought me 5 stars, but that that 5 stars was awarded to me prior to the book being actually published. And so it was sent to Reader's Favorite Books, and it was reviewed by their professional reviewers, and was given a 5-star rating by the company. And so, what's wrong with applauding yourself? Because I mean, if oftentimes if you don't do it, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't get done. And so, Willow's Walk is set primarily in the year 2003. And of course, you get back history of Willow to introduce you to Willow, and but the main story is set in the year 2003 and is set in our capital city in Canada, Ottawa. And there, as I say, I pull from my own life, my life experiences when I write, and I did this time as well for Willow. She is based on me. She is based on some of my life experiences, and tells the story of a woman that is in search of the perfect love, and her plight in trying to find it. Now that veers a little bit away from me and my life to a certain degree, because I have found the perfect love long ago, and to this day I still feel that way about him. Please welcome George to my Christmas video, the YouTube star George. Hi George. I know things look a little differently right now in Graham's loft. He doesn't know what to make of it because some things are moved around, and cats don't like change. They really don't. And so you're going to be hearing his complaints and his meowing throughout the video, I'm sure. And so anyway, he will take part in it. Please don't upset my lighting, mister. Thank you so much. And so just bear with us here if things go a little wonky, or cables get pulled, or lights get tipped over, or whatever. That is just George's addition to the video today, but hopefully he'll be a good boy. And before I go much further, I'm going to have a little drink of coffee here, and I'm going to say cheers, everybody. I wish you all a very merry, peaceful, and very safe Christmas. And I suppose I could wish that to all pussycats, and all puppy dogs, and all birdies, and all horses, and all animals. George, go. Go. Please don't knock that over. And so it's like beginning. I should have locked him downstairs, but then I didn't have the heart to do that. And then it would be constantly meow, 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 meow from down the stairs here. So anyway, he's here and he's taking part in the video. So we make do the best that we can. And so I was speaking about Willow's walk, and I have, as I say, I have it right here beside me on the table here. And I'm very, very proud of Willow. I'm proud of the story that it tells because it carries a very, very serious message, and I'm hoping that everybody can become aware, that reads the book, that can become aware of the very serious message that it tells, and it still goes on to this day. People just don't seem to understand with the internet how serious it can be. It can be extremely entertaining, definitely entertaining, and it can bring you a lot of enjoyment, and fun and laughter and entertainment, and but it can also be the opposite way. It can cause you, it can bring you grief. It can just give me a moment here and get my trusty water bottle. That seems to be the only way he listens, the only thing he listens to, and doesn't hurt him. It just deters him from what he's doing. We don't want the tree falling over here. We don't want lights going upside down. And so, you know, once he goes and finds a spot and settles down, we're fine. But until he finds that spot, it's just chaos. And so, going back to what I was talking about with Willow, as I say, she has set a lot on my own life and experiences that happened throughout that time where I base the story, where the story is set, the time frame the story is set in. And so, go, thank you, George. So maybe we can now proceed in peace. And I don't want to hear from any animal activist saying, no, you can't do that, you can't do that. You can do that because you are not harming the animal and you are deterring them away from possible harm. And when they won't listen, which cats are known to not listen, they're not like horses and they're not like dogs in that respect, they will do what they choose to do, and in doing so can bring them harm. So if you find that by trying to tell them no and they don't listen, and you squirt a little bit of mist toward them, they listen to that because they don't like to get wet, and they then find a place to settle down or they leave the area. And so you know, when you have only so much time to do so much stuff, then you have to resort to however you can do that and present it in the time allotted you to do so. And so back to what I was trying to say before. As I say, I set Willow's walk on a happening in my life in one area of the book, in one of the chapters right off the top of my head. I'm not exactly sure just which chapter number that is. Maybe I should have checked that out prior to beginning beginning my video. Heaven's sakes, I'm destroying my own set here. And so I'm not sure whether Willow had an index in the beginning. I really don't think it did, of the different chapters. But anyway, things are really coming to a head for Willow. She's just backed into a corner. She's fighting to, and really she's fighting for her life. She's fighting to prevent losing her home. Her and her husband have separated, and he is just making it absolutely impossible for Willow. And of course, Willow is trying to maintain the best she can, to hang on to everything the best she can. And it just, one thing after another, it just ends up where Willow cannot see her way out. She's being threatened with a tremendous lawsuit by a mother of Declan Quinn, who Willow should have never met in the first place. She meets him in a chat room, an internet chat room, and he catfishes her, and because she is so vulnerable, she's eating it up, and unfortunately, it is just, without giving too much of it away, it just is not a good state. And so Willow ends up in the hospital. She takes an overdose, thinking that that is the best route, that is the only way to go, and ends up, her husband comes back to the house, and he finds her in time. He gets her to the hospital, and she is presented with the infamous charcoal cocktail, and that is where I could pull from my own experience, because I had to consume one of those charcoal cocktails at one time in 2003, and I don't know, I think it was in 2000, pardon me, I think 2004, and I was having a very difficult time in my life at that point in time, and not quite the same as Willow, a little bit. My husband and I, my second husband and I, had separated, and he was making it very, very difficult for me, and I was having a hard time, struggling along, trying to manage everything on what I had to do it with, what I had left to do it with, and because I don't want to give away too much of my personal life, but I was just trying to cope with not much to cope with, let's put it that way. And it got to the point in time where I just wanted to sleep, and I wanted a good night's sleep, because I wasn't having one, and for the longest period of time, and I was getting worn down, I was feeling ill, and so I had a bottle of nerve pills that I had been given from an incident that had happened a few months prior to that, and my youngest son, was in a very serious accident, and he was following me home from my mother's, and we had been up visiting, and needless to say, this guy that was out on a Sunday afternoon drive with his wife around the Tillsonburg area in Ontario on number 3 highway, and had gone to sleep behind the wheel, and his car veered off, um, and just missed the end of my car, and my son was right behind me, was driving his pickup truck that he had at that time, and everybody was getting over to try to make way for this guy, and Jason couldn't get over any further, and he went up on the left wheels of his truck, went right up on the car's hood, and it flipped the pickup over, and it was terrible, because I was in those few minutes, those few precious seconds, really, I was trying to get myself in the right mindset once I could get out of my car, because my seatbelt had locked, and I finally got that open and got out, and run back, and in those few seconds trying to get myself ready to whatever I was going to be presented with. And fortunately, my son was fine. He'd had his seatbelt on, and he was fine, but we still, both of us, went to hospital, and along with this guy's wife, who had gotten hurt in the accident, and but everybody, there was no fatalities, everybody was fine, but because of, it really shook me up really, really bad, and so I was prescribed these nerve pills, so I had them, and whenever the anxiety got quite heavy or something, I would take one. Well, I had them out of the bottle of 24, or whatever it would have been. I had taken probably, over a period of time, no more than maybe 4 or 6. And so, needless to say, this particular night, I wanted to have a good night's sleep, so I took the rest of the bottle. And I had a good sleep, all right. And so I was taken to hospital. My eldest son took me to the hospital, and to this day I don't think I can ever pray for forgiveness enough for what I put him through, either of my sons, but especially my eldest son, because he was the one that was with me, and so I can remember him taking me there to hospital in his car, and sitting with me. I was still conscious enough, like I had lost consciousness for quite some time. I don't know how long, because I did this. It wasn't even at nighttime, as I recall. I think it was like in late morning or early afternoon, because I hadn't had sleep, so I was out from whatever time it was until my son came. I think it was through my daughter-in-law had come over for something or other, because this is many, many years ago, and she was the one that found me and couldn't wake me up, and she ended up, I remember water in my face and stuff like that, and then my son came and took me to hospital, and then I can remember them, they didn't pump my stomach. I remember that didn't happen. It's a wonder it didn't happen, because that is the quickest way to get foreign objects out of your stomach. And if that happened, I don't recall it, but I don't think it did. But I remember them bringing the infamous charcoal cocktail, which is charcoal and water. And you find out just how many orifices you have in your body when you have to drink a bottle about that big of that stuff. And oh my heavens, it is just like black black water, gobby black water that's coming away from you as it's taking everything with it. And then I was alone. I remember I was in the ICU, and I woke up and I was being monitored. I had intravenous in my arm. I had a blood pressure cup on my arm. I remember it going off like every minute and a half, and I was monitored. I was on a mobile gurney at that point, I remember, and so I remember being wheeled into this unit, and I was flat on this gurney, and so I was placed on a very high, narrow bed. I remember that. My clothing was removed. I was laid out straight and flat on this bed, and I had been thoroughly examined, and then I was covered in a very starched white sheet that was drawn over me, and as I say, that is the way that I remained. And finally, I must have went out, either that or I was sort of put out, and I remained that way for hours and hours on end. And then I can remember being put back onto this mobile gurney, and again arranged straight and flat and covered in this flowing white sheet, and I was wheeled out of that area to through a waiting room. I can remember people seeing me, looking at me, and I was taken then to a private room and placed in the bed, again flat and straight, and again I was checked over and examined, and then I must have been put out again, and then finally, when I finally was conscious, I was still being monitored. I was still hooked up to everything. They had probes on me, and so I mean I must have been serious enough, I guess, that maybe they felt that it was still possible that my heart could have stopped. I know they did. They kept check on my liver to make sure that I didn't damage my liver, and thank God I didn't. And so I remember a psychiatrist coming to talk to me and asking me why did I try to kill myself. And I remember saying to this doctor, this psychiatrist, I didn't. That's not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to have a decent sleep. So needless to say, I did some therapy for a bit of time, and I come through that, like I was in my mid-50s at that time, and so, a very serious lesson learned there, and so, and I'll talk another time about the therapy and what the therapy was like, and how I was put on antidepressants, and what that was like and what they did to me. And so um, which to this day I'm very anti against that type of stuff, and because of my own experience with that and what I went through. And so there you go. This, that's how I think a lot of writers, not just me, but I think a lot of writers can write such intense stories because of what they have experienced in their life firsthand. I mean, you can research all kinds of things um, to get to be able to speak about something as factual as you can. But when you have lived it yourself, and you have that firsthand experience, then you can use that, pull from that, to be able to write your character, your character's plight of what's happening to him or her in that particular scenario that they're in. And so, and I don't usually very often talk about my personal life, but that because Willow Willow goes through this same scenario, this same happening to her. Um, that was how I was able to write that um, as realistically as you will read it, because as I say, I lived it. And so and I would recommend that y'all never ever have to taste a charcoal cocktail, because it is not nice. And so I see that by the time on the bottom of my screen, I'm past my allotted time that I set aside for my videos. And so again, I would like to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas, and enjoy yourselves, enjoy your families, enjoy your friends. And if you just happen to be by yourself, just stop and think about memories that can take you to nice places. Have some nice food to eat, regardless of what that may be, and just enjoy yourself. And remember the reason for the season, and celebrate Jesus's birthday. And for me, I'm also celebrating my late mother's birthday, because she was born on December 25th as well. And so, Mama, I hope you have another really nice birthday where you are now. And so, please like this video, please comment it if you would, please share it about, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and continue to help it to grow. I wish you God's blessings to each one of you, and I will be back again to do a New Year's video sometime next week. And so imagine, already almost the end of the year. I hope next year will be better than this one. That's all we can do is hope and pray. So until I see you all again, take care of yourself, stand strong, and I will see you again soon. Peace out for now.